Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Was It the Best?
Hi.
Nick and Greg here, and we're going to talk about the year 1982 today.
2 years before I was born.
You had to point that out. Well, I was 2 years old. Turned 3 that year in that November. So we're going to talk about Was It the Best in regards to Best Picture of the year 1982. And the contenders here, the one that won Best Picture, Gandhi. But there's also a little old film that everyone remembers more from that year called E.T. the Extraterrestrial. So the question is, was Gandhi the Best Picture of the year? Was E.T. the Best Picture of the year? So that's what we're debating on this episode. So, Greg, I will give you first chance at this. Now, by the way, before we begin, just to go over the list of the other nominees, you also have Missing, Tootsie, and The Verdict.
Of those, I've only seen Tootsie. It's tough because Gandhi was a really good movie. It really pulls on your emotions a lot as you're going through Gandhi's life and how he helped the Indians in South Africa and then helped liberate India without violence, being, peaceful opposition. It was a very good movie, but E.T. was a very good movie too. And I don't know, it's tough. It's really tough. But you do, with E.T., you do have to wonder if the old Academy being afraid of naming a quote-unquote family movie as Best Picture played into it,
You really think that?
Yeah. I mean, it's the same reason that... What was it? Which Disney animated movie was nominated for Best Picture? Was it Beauty and the Beast? Anyway, it was the same. It's the same reason people say that it didn't win.
That's an interesting viewpoint.
But I'm really on the fence because they were both excellent movies. It's hard for me to pick.
Well, Gandhi was, for the reasons you mentioned, a very emotional film. I mean, Ben Kingsley won Best Actor for his performance. Undoubtedly, I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't debate that at all.
No. I mean, that is probably the role of his career amongst many others that he has had in his illustrious career. But the thing about it is that supposedly when Sir Richard Attenborough won Best Director over Steven Spielberg, supposedly on the way up to get his award, he stopped and whispered into Steven Spielberg's ear, "You really should have won this."
Yeah.
And that really says something,
Spielberg probably should have gotten Best Director. I mean, not that Gandhi wasn't well directed, but...
I mean, Gandhi was Attenborough's pet project. He had been trying to get it made for close to 3 decades, but never got the financing until when it did get made.
Yeah, he had a shot to get it made at one point in the 70s, but then there was some political unrest in India and he couldn't shoot it. But finally got it made and shooting in 80-81.
For an 82 release, yeah. But here's the thing, is that Gandhi matters because it points out the political climate that kind of is still in play today. That India was a vast country and got split in two when independence happened and became India and Pakistan. And Pakistan is just one of those countries in the Middle East where there's a lot of instability, is there not?
Yeah. I mean, there was and still is the big conflict between the Muslims and the Hindus.
Very much so. And you have all sorts of other religions in the Muslim side of things on top of that, compounding the problem. I mean, we're not going to get into an ideological religious debate here. I mean, but it certainly is, watching a film like Gandhi in this day and age in 2018, it certainly gives a lot of parallels to what's going on today. I mean, there's no other way I can put it. Gandhi was a really good film. Any other year, I ordinarily would think, bar none, it would be the best picture of the year. But with such a box office performer and a classic like E.T. that's always been special to me, it's a film that still makes 38-year-old me cry whenever I watch it. It's a tough pick. It really is. I think we stumbled on the toughest pick yet of 4 episodes we've done, you know. I mean, can we call it a tie? I mean, we could call it a tie. It's our show.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, can we give the award to both of them?
Well, what would you have done if you were an Academy voter?
If I was an Academy voter, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Well, no.
Sorry, that's a literal answer to the question.
Well, what would you have done in that case?
I don't know. Abstain my vote. I think I would have had to have went with Gandhi because political commentary biopics are more films that resonate with just my film personality, that in terms of what a classic and a good film is, it's award worthy than anything else. So I would tend to side more with Gandhi in this case, even though E.T. is such a great film and a classic. I just can't stand away from what makes a great movie that's award worthy.
I remember you saying a few days ago that you probably thought you were going to end up saying that Gandhi was a great movie, but it should be E.T.
And my opinion changed. That's proof that I'm not predictable. You know?
That was before we actually sat down and watched Gandhi.
Yeah, because I'd only seen bits and pieces of the movie prior to the day before we recorded this. You know, and I'd always wanted to sit down and watch the whole movie. And it's bad to pass judgment on your opinion of movies before you watch it. I'm guilty of that more often than not. It probably is bad that it keeps me away from films that I might like that on the surface, because of a badly cut trailer, for example, that it would steer me away from the film, you know? So I do side more with Gandhi in this case, because it was just a great film in scope, in depiction, in just everything that it stood for. It was a great movie. It was a great movie. So I side with the majority of the Academy voters in that it was the best picture of the year.
Yeah, I probably have to agree, but I do think they got Best Director wrong.
You think it should have went to Spielberg?
I think that's my opinion.
Well, I don't know. It's not like Spielberg hasn't won Best Director. I mean, did he not win it for Schindler's List?
I think so.
I mean, I will... Yes, he did win for Schindler's List. So it's not like he never got his award. I mean,
yeah.
It's just, what do you think he should have gotten it at that time?
That's my opinion, I think.
That's interesting. Well, Attenborough thought so, supposedly, too. That's interesting. But Gandhi was by far the best success of the 55th Academy Awards ceremony. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor. Scrolling down here, Best Screenplay written directly for the screen. Today that's called Best Original Screenplay. Best Costume Design, Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography, Best Film Editing. It racked up a lot of awards.
Yeah.
In total, let me see if I can find a total here. 11 nominations, it won 8 of them. So it really cleaned up. E.T. did win 4 Academy Awards. Definitely Best Visual Effects. Yep. John Williams' score won, which there's no debate there. Absolutely no debate that E.T. deserved, John Williams deserved the Best Original Score Oscar that year.
What was it up against?
It was up against Gandhi, Ravi Shankar and George Fenton, An Officer and a Gentleman, Poltergeist, Jerry Goldsmith, Sophie's Choice, Marvin Hamlish. A very pedigree class of composers of the time, you know. Let's see, E.T. also won. What else did it win? Best sound effects editing, best sound. So, yeah, I agree with that also. So, that's our opinion on the films Gandhi versus E.T. Did you see both of these films? What do you think?
Or you want to go out of left field and say one of the other movies should have won? I doubt that, but...
I don't know, unless you're a huge Dustin Hoffman fan, which Tootsie was a great movie. I mean...
Yeah, it was a good movie. I didn't think it was Best Picture worthy, but it was a good movie.
No, it was a classic, you know. And with you being such a soap fan, soap opera fan that is, I mean, it plays right into it. Okay, so that's going to do it for this episode of Was It the Best? We thank you very much for watching. We'll be back with episode 5 next month. And remember, if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button.
Give us a thumbs up.
Like the video, please. And if you have any comments, leave them below. And also, smack that notification bell.
Ding.
Then you get notified when the new videos go up.
Yep.
All right, and we love you very much. We thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.